So we're going to start with a little bit of pranayama today because pranayama is breath work, and pranayama does help us to work on the subtle layer. It helps us to clean and cleanse and purify and really just enter the moment that we are coming into. So a couple of choices. You can sit with your legs crossed. You can sit up on a block in Virasana. If you are comfortable sitting in Vajrasana, that means that you are sitting on your heels. So your heels are going kind of right into your sitting bones. This can be kind of uncomfortable on the tops of the feet. It's not a bad thing. It's just, can you tolerate it or not? And if it's going to distract you a lot, choose something that you can kind of focus a little bit more on your seat. Okay? So as you come into your seat, take a moment to organize your physical structure. So whatever it is that you're sitting on, feel the floor, feel the ground underneath you, feel the quality of the earth holding you and supporting you. And then you can start to grow your spine tall away from the earth. So you line your rib cage up over the bowl of your pelvis and the center of your skull, right over the two sitting bones. If you were to draw a line between those two sitting bones, it would bisect the center of your skull. Let your shoulders drop away from your neck, and imagine that you could lift your heart from the inside out. Just close your eyes for a moment. And this is just an exercise in awareness, kind of tuning out the external world so that we can tune into the internal world and just ask ourselves the very important question, how am I today? How am I? How did I show up on this mat? How is my mind? How is my body? Am I restless? So this is not a time to judge anything, just to take a brief little assessment. Good, and then we're going to take about a minute of Kapalabhati, which is that quick exhale breath, just to cleanse and clear out anything that we might be carrying from the weekend. So it's like you're striking a match right at your belly button center. Your belly draws into your spine. You focus on the exhale, not the inhale. So it's a sharp exhale breath. And ready? We'll begin. So I'm drawing my belly button back with every sharp exhalation. So it's a sharp breath to cleanse and to clear all the stale, all old air out of your lungs. Good. Now, sharp exhale breath. Hold the breath out. Scoop and scrape your belly in and up as if you could. And then allow the breath to lovingly fill your lungs. Allow it to pour in. Easy exhale out. And now we're going to turn on a little bit of Ujjayi pranayama, where we're just looking for that soma vritti. So that means an evenness to our inhale and our exhale breath. So let's take an inhale on a count of 5. So empty your lungs completely. And then begin your inhale breath, allowing the breath to drift over the floor of your nose. So a lot of times we inhale and we're breathing up into the top of our nose. Try to keep the breath nice and low. You feel it in your throat, you feel it on the floor of the nose. And then exhale your breath out for 5 counts. Same thing, the breath is somewhat soft, but you can hear it. Inhaling for 5. Exhaling for 5. Inhaling for 5. Exhaling for 5. Inhaling for 6. Exhaling for 6. Inhaling for 6 again. Exhaling for 6. One more time on the 6. And exhaling for 6. And just take a couple more rounds on your own. It doesn't matter if it's 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9, as long as it matches the exhale breath. Try to keep your breath nice and low on the floor of your nose. And try not to, breathe so hard. Like your breath is going to come in whether you suck it in or not. So try not to put in quite so much effort. And then the last thing we're going to do is Nadi Shodhan, which means that we're alternate nostril breathing. So this is my right hand. I want you guys to take your right hand and I want you to put your 2 peace fingers to the center of your hand. Put your 4th finger and your thumb right in the little divot on either side of your nose and tuck your elbow in so that you don't have to hold your elbow out to the side. Right? So you're just gently putting pressure on your nose. So it's not like you're pushing your nose from side to side. First thing we're going to do is close the right nostril and take an inhale through the left nostril. Feel that breath lifting all the way up into your third eye center. Then close the left nostril and breathe out through the right nostril. Feeling that breath go from your third eye out through the nostril. And then breathe in through the right nostril all the way up to your third eye center. Close your right nostril, breathe out through the left nostril. Again, breathing in through the left. Keep your breath soft. You don't have to suck the breath in. Exhaling from the right. Think of that breath draining from the third eye out through the nostril. Breathing in through the right. Close the right nostril, breathing out through the left. In through the left. We're still maintaining that soma vritti, so there's an evenness to the inhale and the exhale. Out through the right. In from the right, and out from the left. Now let's just take 2 more rounds on your own. In through the left, and out through the right, and then in through the right, and out through the left. And 1 more complete round. And when you've completed that last round, let your right hand land on your inner knee, palms up or down, whatever you choose. And now imagine you could still do that same thing without closing your nostrils. So you're breathing in, you're trying to imagine you could sip in the breath from the left nostril and breathe out through the right nostril. And then try to breathe in from the right side and out through the left. So it's subtle, right? And after your last round, when you feel like you've exhaled out through your left nostril, just pause for a moment. Breathing evenly, soma vritti. There's an evenness to your inhale and your exhale breath. Bring your hands together in front of your heart. And just make that inner connection to your most authentic, deepest self, your own divine inner teacher. And from this space, you can set any intention for your practice. And then slowly allow your eyes to open and you can look up and take in your computer screen. Take your arms out to the sides as if you could touch the sides of the room. Roll your biceps up towards the ceiling so you feel your shoulders externally rotate. And then float your arms up. And as you float your arms up, even though the arms are lifting up, I want you to imagine that your breath is pouring down into the base of your pelvis. So invite that inhale all the way down and in. Good, and then as you exhale, place your left hand down, take your right arm over your ear. And now you're feeling that breath moving down, right, through the left upper lobe of your lung, all the way down into the right side of your pelvis. Sorry, I'm mirroring you guys. Inhale back up to the top, invite that breath to pour in. And as you exhale, side bend, send the breath down and out through your legs. And on that next inhale breath, invite the breath in through the left lung and send it all the way down to the lowest lobe of your left lung. Inhale, lift back up again, but pour the breath down into your body. And as you exhale, root down, send your sitting bones down into the floor. On your next inhale breath, pour that breath in through your right lung, so the arm that's lifted, right? And as you exhale, you further ground. Inhale back up to the top. Exhale, side bend. We're rooting down through the pelvis. Inhale, invite that breath into your left lung. And exhale, send that breath down and out through your sitting bones. And then inhale back up to the top. One more time. And as you stretch your arms up, invite the breath down. And as you exhale, feel your pelvis root down as you take your hands down on the floor in front of you. Now with your hands on the floor in front of you, imagine you could pull the floor backwards towards yourself and elongate your sternum forward towards your thumbs. We're not rounding the back, we're seeing just how long we can send the sternum. Feeling a stretch into the lower back and into the hips. Good, and then slowly walk your hands back in. Extend your legs out in front of you. Give them a nice little shake. Flex and point your toes a couple of times. Good, and then whichever shin you had crossed in front, assuming you had your legs crossed, cross your opposite shin in front. Inhale, circle your arms up, invite the breath down. And as you exhale, feel your pelvis sitting bones root as you take your hands down. So you're stretching slightly differently into your back and your hips. So enjoy this. Now imagine you could send the breath into the back of your body, into the lowest part of the back of your lungs. So we want to feel that expansion throughout the body. So one of the things that I learned this weekend was the vayus, which are the different directions that we can send our breath. So one of the ways we can send our breath is what we just did. We can send it down when we need a little bit more rooting. We might talk about a few more other of the breath patterns, but the point is that they are all ideally happening all the time, all 5 of the rhythms. So slowly walk your hands back in, extend your legs out in front of you again, give them a little shake, flex and point your toes, wake up your feet. Good, and then make your way to hands and knees. And as you come onto your hands and knees, stack your shoulders directly above your wrists, stack your knees directly underneath your hips. And on your inhale breath, dog tail. So it's like you're pulling your chest forward through the gates of your arms. You lift your tailbone up towards the sky. And as you exhale, you're going to start to round your back and land back towards a child's pose, yeah? So this is how we're going to do cat and cow today. As you inhale, pull yourself forward so that your chest moves through the gates of your arms. You can let your tailbone tip up towards the ceiling. And then as you exhale, start to round your spine and lengthen your hips back into your heels. Soma Vritti. You follow your breath, evenness to your inhale and exhale. Inhale, come forward, reach your chest forward as if you could show off a medallion dangling around your neck. And as you exhale, engage your belly muscles to lengthen your hips back into your heels. Let's do that twice more on your own, establishing your own rhythm that you move to and your own tracking of the sensations that you feel through your body. your hands about 3 inches forward. Tuck your toes under, and keeping your knees fairly bent, start to send your chest towards your thighs, and the knees will stay really bent here. And then see if you can lift your hips up higher and higher and higher, keeping your knees bent. Good, and then start to press the front of the thigh bones towards the back of the thigh bones. And imagine you could stretch your yoga mat into the front of your room as you roll your triceps down towards the floor. Press into the mound of your thumb and your first finger. And what I want everybody to do here is bend your knees a lot so that we exaggerate the arching, like that dog tilt shape. So send your booty way up towards the ceiling, and then try to maintain that curvature. So you straighten your legs any amount where you can maintain that natural curvature. And then think about if your front ribs are puffing out, and gently snuggle your front ribs in towards the frontal hip point. So there's a tiny little bit of a belly engagement. The ears are in line with the arms. Feel your breath, experience your breath. Try not to suck your breath in, but keep it nice and even. Good, now on your inhale breath, shift forward to the top of a push-up. Lengthen through the crown of your head. And as you press down into your palms, feel as if your forearms were moving towards one another, but your collarbones were getting wider. As you press your heels back against an imaginary wall, your tailbone follows your heels. Now, when you breathe, I want you to breathe into all 4 sides of the cylinder of your torso, particularly the sides and the back body. And as you exhale, imagine you were exhaling into a ball of fire right behind your belly button. You're bringing that breath all the way to a concentrated place. So as you inhale, there's this 3-dimensional expansion. And as you exhale, everything draws into this ball of energy in the center of your body. Take one more round of breath like that. And then bend your knees, drop your knees down to the earth. Feel the top of your sternum growing away from the bottom of your sternum. Take an inhale, feel all 4 sides expand 3-dimensionally. And as you exhale, slowly lower your belly all the way down to the earth. Good. That's beautiful. Nice job, you guys. So when you land on the earth, I want you to press your pubic bones down into the floor. Scoop the belly button up away from the floor. Spin the inner thighs up, roll the pinky toenails down. Reach behind your back and clasp your hands, or use a strap if you have one. Let's clasp right thumb on top of the left thumb. The elbows are bent. Now the first thing I want you guys to do, look at my shoulders. Pull your shoulders away from the floor. So they're tilted down, right? I'm gonna draw my shoulder heads away from the floor. Now imagine you could grow long. Your forehead, nose, chin, and chest extend beyond the front edge of your mat. Your arms might straighten behind you. Notice if you stuck your belly button out into the floor, draw your belly button in, lengthen your legs so much, and keep your gaze low. So we keep the back of the neck and the front of the neck equal in length. And then lengthen your legs so much that maybe they float up off of the floor. Inner thighs up, shins down. Take one more inhale. And as you exhale, release it down. Turn your face to one side. If you want to make a pillow, you can. And so with your belly against the earth, you can feel how the breath is being sent to the sides of the waist and to the back of the body. Really send your breath. So we're breathing wide. Good, now reach your arms behind your back again. This time clasp left thumb on top of the right, or use your strap. The first thing I want you to do is push your pubic bone down. Spin your inner thighs up so the root is nice and strong. And now start to pull the shoulder heads away from the floor. Notice maybe it feels a little different this time. And then as you start to extend your arms, you think about your forehead, nose, chin, and chest growing long beyond that front edge of your yoga mat. Notice if you're sticking your belly out into the earth. Draw your belly in, but press your pubic bones, left and right side, down. There's 2 bones there. And then extend your legs so much. Inner thighs lift, but shins do not. I know that's kind of weird. Now imagine that the breath is pouring into your lungs. There's no need to do anything here. It's just pouring into the upper chest. And as you exhale, just feel that breath as if it could resonate throughout your body. Take one more breath. Invite that breath to pour in. And as you exhale, release it down. Make a pillow for your face if you did so on the first time. And turn your face in the opposite direction if you turned your face last time. And just notice your breath now spreading wide through the sides of the body. And then place your hands directly underneath your elbows. Imagining you could pull your yoga mat backwards, pull your shoulder heads away from the mat, lengthen your forehead, nose, chin, and chest away from the floor. Either a baby cobra, or if you're ready, you can come right up to that upward facing dog. If you're coming into the upward facing dog, I want you to lift the pubic bone towards the navel so the tailbone stays long, and then try to find the shoulder blades lifting the chest. As you inhale, imagine that breath pouring into your lungs. And as you exhale, lead with your belly. Take your hips up and back into downward facing dog. Feet are hip distance apart. Slowly walk your hands back towards your feet. And when you get there, bend your knees enough that your belly and your thighs can make contact with one another. So that can mean your knees are very, very bent. That's totally fine. Clasp your opposing elbows. Let the head dangle towards the floor. And then you can start to think about lifting the sides of the hips up or lifting the kneecaps with the quadriceps. But make sure that your belly and your thighs stay in contact with one another to keep your lower back safe for now. Good, now reach around behind your back again. Interlace your fingers right on top of the left. Same thing, pull your shoulder heads away from the floor and then lengthen your arms. Shift the weight towards the balls of your feet. As you inhale, pull the shoulder heads away from the floor. And as you exhale, allow the arms to travel towards the front short edge of your mat. Take a few rounds of breath. Inhale, lift the shoulders away from the floor. Exhale, let the arms find their path. Good, and then release your hands onto your lower back and slide your hands down your legs all the way down to your shins. Okay, hands are on the shins. We're not lifting the spine up. You're just drawing the chest forward. So you can press back gently on your shins and just elongate your chest forward. There you go, good. Don't slide your hands up, keep your hands where they are. Great. As you exhale, release back down. Reach around behind your back again. Interlace your opposite thumb on top. I believe it's the left this time. And then start to move your shoulder heads away from the floor as you inhale. And as you exhale, allow your arms, your knuckles to travel towards the front short edge of your mat. Inhale, squeeze the shoulder blades, widen the collarbones. And as you exhale, allow the arms to travel. Any amount. It might just be very subtle. They might not actually move. But energetically, you can feel the direction they want to travel in. Shift the weight more towards the balls of your feet. And then release your hands to your lower back. And slide your hands all the way down to your shins. Same thing, you're not going to lift your belly button away from your thighs. You're just going to slide your chest forward for Ardha Uttanasana. That's an inhale. And as you exhale, you fold back in. Good. Bring your hands to your hips. And as you inhale, rise up all the way to Samastiti. So Samastiti means balanced, harmonious posture. And Samavriti means balanced, harmonious breath. So try to tap into both. And then step to the top of your yoga mat. So just evaluate how you're standing on your feet. Look down at your feet. Feel that you have your weight in the four corners of your feet, and your feet are basically parallel to the side edges of your yoga turn your palms to face forward so your collarbones get wider. Your chest lifts from the inside out. Half Surya Namaskar. As you inhale, circle the arms, but pour the breath down into the bowl of your pelvis. And as you exhale, fold forward, and imagine you could breathe out through your legs. As you inhale, the breath moves in through the nose and down, down, down into the pelvis, into the sitting bones. And as you exhale, you fold forward and you send that energy down and out through the legs. As you inhale, pour the breath in from the top down to the base of the pelvis. And as you exhale, bring your hands to your heart, but send energy down and out through your legs. So it's subtle, right? I've taught this to you guys before. Inhale, circle your arms, but pour the breath down into the base of your pelvis. As you exhale, send the energy down and out through your legs. Inhale, feel the breath pouring in and send that breath all the way down to the bowl of the pelvis. As you exhale, fold forward, send the energy down and out through the legs. As you inhale, rise up, but pour the breath down. And as you exhale, send the breath down and out, grounding you into your legs. Let's add on. Inhale, circle your arms, reach up. Feel if you can feel the breath pouring down, and the breath is even. As you exhale, fold forward. Feel your legs. Feel them, feel them, feel them. Inhale, lift your chest, pour the breath in. As you exhale, step back into a plank pose and send the energy out through your legs. So press your heels backwards towards an imaginary wall behind you. Take a moment, pause in plank pose. As you pause in plank pose, press into the inner part of your palms so the inseams of your arms grow taller, but the collarbones grow wider. Knees up or down. I'm going to choose down. Lower yourself halfway down for Chaturanga on an exhale. And on an inhale, pour the breath down. Keep the tailbone long. Curl the pubic bone towards the navel. Broaden your collarbones. And as you exhale, send the energy into your legs, down and out through your heels. And take a pause in downward facing dog. Allow yourself to even out the breath, but try to envision the breath in the same manner. That it's coming in through the top, which feels upside down right now, and going down and out through your legs. So imagine as you inhale, you're suctioning energy up from the ground through your arms. The breath is traveling from your throat to your tailbone. And as you exhale, the breath is traveling from your sitting bones to your heels. As you inhale, you're pulling that energy up, which is down in your body if you were standing up. And as you exhale, you're sending that energy down and out through your legs. At the end of your next exhale, bend your knees, look forward. I would recommend you step rather than jump this first time. As you inhale, pour the breath in, lengthen your chest forward, draw the lowest part of your belly in. And as you exhale, send the energy down and out through your legs. As you inhale, circle your arms, but pour the breath in and down. Awesome. And as you exhale, bring your hands together in front of your heart and feel your legs grounded. Okay. Again, inhale, circle your arms, but pour the breath down. Exhale, fold forward, send the energy down and out through your legs. As you inhale, invite that breath to flow in through your nose and all the way down to the bowl of your pelvis. And as you exhale, make your way back to plank pose, perhaps right into Chaturanga if you can focus on the legs. Inhale, tailbone is long as you come into baby cobra, upward facing dog. Shoulders away from the ears, chin level to the floor. And exhale, hips up and back, downward facing dog. So let's just play with our downward facing dog a little bit. Walk your hands to the outer edges of your mat. Hold the outer edges of your yoga mat. Imagine you could rip your yoga mat in half. So I want you to actually try to rip your yoga mat in half. And then bend your elbows out to the side a little bit. And then swivel your forearms so your elbows face backward. Then try to pull the mat out from underneath you. So pull your mat forward. So you really lengthen the hips up and back. If you want to do that again, it's like a little yoga push-up. You move the crown of your head towards the floor, elbows out towards the side. Then you swivel your elbows to face behind you. And then it's like you try to pull the mat out from underneath you. And then once you have that, send your hands back to regular downward facing dog position and notice the effects. You feel a little longer, a little bit more space in your spine. We want to use that space in our spine to breathe, to send our breath, that life force, that prana. So prana isn't necessarily always breath. We want to allow the prana to ride on the current of our breath with our mindfulness. So at the end of your next exhale, bend your knees, look forward. If you want to jump, you can jump. I say step again, why not? And nothing to prove in our practice. As you inhale, pour the breath in through the crown of your head all the way down to the bowl of your pelvis. As you exhale, fold in, send the energy down and out through your legs. As you inhale, circle your arms, reach up but pour the breath down. And as you exhale, ground into your feet. Feel the texture of the yoga mat underneath your feet. Let's take one more round. Inhale, circle the arms but pour the breath down. Exhale, hinge from your hips, fold forward, ground into your legs. As you inhale, invite that breath to move from your nasal all the way down to the bowl of your pelvis. And as you exhale, find your way back to plank through chaturanga, exaggerating the legs. Inhale, pour the breath in, lengthen your tailbone, lift the pubic bone towards the navel in your back bend. And as you exhale, use your belly muscles to take your hips up and back into downward facing dog. See just how much length you can get. Imagine you could emanate energy out through every single fingertip. As you reach the heels as if they had magnets on them all the way down to the center of the earth. And as much as you're doing all of that, you guys, you're feeling the pubic bone lift. Can you lift your pubic bone up away from your shoulders? At the end of your next breath, bend your knees, look forward, step, walk, or maybe jump to the top of your mat. As you inhale, pour that breath in, and as you exhale, connect to the earth through your legs and your feet. Bend your knees, circle your arms, Utkatasana, chair pose. Send your shins backwards, so shift the weight backwards a little bit more. And feel your shoulder blades encapsulating the sides of your body. Turn your pinky fingers in towards one another a little bit, but soften the space between your neck and your shoulders. You're gazing at a spot straight in front of you. Your inner thighs and outer thighs release evenly down towards the earth. Take one more inhale. And as you exhale, stand up, but send the energy down and out through your legs. Bring your hands together in front of your heart. Beautiful. Bend your knees, circle your arms. Inhale, pour the breath in. As you exhale, fold forward, straighten your legs. Energy down and out through the legs. Inhale, reach the chest forward. As you exhale, make your way back to downward facing dog or through your vinyasa, thinking about the directionality of your breath. Thinking about as you come into the back bend, exaggerate lifting your pubic bone towards your navel. And as you exhale, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Good. Step your right foot next to your right thumb. Turn your left foot on its edge. Try to square your hips and rise up into Virabhadrasana 1. So as you rise up into that Virabhadrasana 1, I want you to turn the pelvic wheel on. I want you to try to lift your pubic bone towards your navel. Stretch your left arm forward and imagine someone was pulling your left wrist. So the whole left side of your waist drags forward a little bit. Good. Now lift your left arm up to meet your right arm. Allow your palms to touch. And then see if you can, keeping your lower body pretty grounded. On your inhale breath, imagine you were inviting that breath to pour in through your heart. And as you exhale, send the breath down and out through your legs, particularly your back leg. So you're really grounding into that outer edge of your left foot. Take one more inhale. And as you exhale, bring your hands down, find your way back through vinyasa. So we're moving into Surya Namaskar B. As you inhale, pour that breath in, lift the pubic bone. Gorgeous. As you exhale, take those hips up and back, downward facing dog. The end of your exhale breath, step your left foot next to your left thumb, turn your right foot on its edge. As you inhale, rise up to that Virabhadrasana 1. Good, so already start to turn your pelvic wheel on. Think about the pubic bone magnetizing towards the navel. Stretch your right arm forward and allow your right side of your waist to square a little bit more to match the left. And float your right arm back up. Take an inhale, pour that breath in, and as you exhale, send that breath down and out through the legs, particularly the outer edge of your back foot. Then allow your palms to join and notice what that does to your heart. You feel a little bit more lift from the inside out as that breath pours down and nourishes your heart. As you exhale, send the breath down and out through your legs, particularly your back right foot. Take one more inhale, and as you exhale, take it down and move through your vinyasa. Focusing on the legs in chaturanga, focusing in pouring the breath to the lowest part of your lungs as you come into a back bend, and using your abdominals to send the energy from your upper body to your lower body as you come into downward facing dog. Take a few rounds of breath, find that soma vritti. And then at the end of your next breath, lift up high onto your tippy toes, bend your knees, look forward. Step walker, lightly jump to the top of your mat. Inhale, pour the breath from the top of your lungs to the bottom of your lungs. As you exhale, fold forward, ground the legs. Then the knees, circle the arms as you pour the breath from the top to the bottom. Good, and as you exhale, stand all the way up and bring your hands together in front of your heart. Let's do it again. Bend the knees, circle the arms as you pour the breath in. As you exhale, send the energy down and out as if you could shoot your feet all the way to the center of the earth. Inhale, send the breath down to your pelvis. Exhale, find your way back to chaturanga. Inhaling, pouring the breath into the base of your lungs, tailbone is long. Triceps roll back. Exhale, lift those hips up and back. At the end of your exhale breath, step your right foot towards your right thumb, seal your left foot on its edge. And as you inhale, rise up, inviting that breath to pour in through the top. As you exhale, further ground through your feet, particularly your back foot. Allow your palms to touch on your inhale. On your exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Heel toe your right foot towards the left side of your mat. Heel to arch alignment. Separate the arms wide, firming the triceps. Imagine someone was pulling your left arm backwards. You get a little bit of space between the right side of your pelvis and your right thigh. So I want you to send that thigh bone down as you exhale. Take an inhale, pour the breath in through the top all the way down to the pelvis. And as you exhale, send the breath down and out through both legs. Set your drishti and your gaze. Well, your drishti is your gaze. And find soma vritti. Remember in the beginning when we were counting the length of each breath, much as you are keeping your awareness on that breath, you're also keeping your attention on the directionality of your breath. Flip your right palm over. As you inhale, it's like in the beginning when we were side bending. Pour the breath into the uppermost lobe of your right lung. And as you exhale, feel the breath travel down, down, down through the lower part of your body. Take one more inhale, invite that breath into your right lung. And as you exhale, cartwheel your hands down, pivot to the ball of your back foot, and step your right foot back to meet your left. You can either take it through a vinyasa, keeping awareness on your breath directionality, or you can go straight back to downward facing dog and recalibrate your breath. If you feel like your breath is getting a little squirrely away from you, you want to come back and recalibrate. The end of your next exhale breath, step your left foot towards your left thumb, still your right foot on its edge. As you inhale, pour the breath in as you rise up. And as you exhale, send the breath down and out through your legs and your feet. Take one more inhale, allow your palms to join. As you exhale, bring your hands together in front of your heart and heel toe your left foot towards the right a little bit. Send your arms long. Good. So the inhale, pouring in through the crown of your head, reaching all the way down into the bowl of your pelvis. The exhale, sending the energy down and out through your legs. So imagine you had thick elephant legs, warm red color. You can shoot through your legs on each exhale breath. Finding your drishti, that place where you're really grounded, really centered, really focused, really present. And imagine someone's gently pulling your right arm backwards. See if you can lift the pubic bone towards the navel, and at the same time, can you lift your back ribs away from your kidneys? Awesome. Flip your left hand over. As you inhale, pour the breath into your uppermost lobe of your left lung. And as you exhale, send it down, down, down. Take one more inhale, opening up that left lung. And as you exhale, cartwheel your hands down, pivot to the ball of your back foot, and step your left foot back. Take it through a vinyasa, if you like. And eventually you find your way back into that downward facing dog. Remember when we pulled our yoga mat in half? Can you find those same sensations? It's like the shoulder blades broadening on your back. There's a space between your shoulders and your ears, right? So as much as your shoulder blades are separating, they're also not hunching up into your neck. So roll the triceps down, that'll give you a little bit more space. Good, now at the end of your next exhale breath, rise up high onto your tippy toes, bend your knees, lift forward. Step walker, jump to the top of your mat. As you inhale, lift the chest, pour the breath in. As you exhale, further ground the legs. Bend the knees, circle the arms. Inhale, but pour the breath down. And as you exhale, send the energy like you could send roots through the soles of your feet all the way down into the earth, hands to your heart. Take a pause. Samastiti, Somavriti. Evenness to our stance and evenness to our breath. Let's add on. Bend the knees, circle the arms, send the breath down. Exhale, fold forward, lift the hips, but send the energy down through the feet. Inhale, lengthen forward, draw that breath all the way down. As you exhale, make your way back through your vinyasa or straight to dog, wherever you can keep focusing on the directionality of your breath. Beautiful. At the end of your exhale, step your right foot in line with your right thumb, seal your left foot on its edge. As you inhale, rise up, Virabhadrasana 1, inviting that breath to pour down. As you exhale, send the energy down and out through your legs. Circle your arms around behind your back, interlace your fingers, right thumb on top of the left. As you send your knuckles down towards the floor, lift your chest up, but pour the breath down. And as you exhale, ground into your legs so that your torso can fold. Squeeze the shoulders away from the floor. And let your head dangle down. Good. Now as you inhale, release the interlace of your fingers. Rise back up to Virabhadrasana 1. As you exhale, bring your hands together in front of your heart and heel toe your right foot over towards the left side of your mat. Extend your arms out to the side, Virabhadrasana 1. Take a moment to really feel your breath here. Pouring the breath into the crown of your head, sending the breath down and out through your legs. Good. Now, as you inhale, you're going to pour the breath. Your arms are going to lift. Your right leg is going to straighten, but you're going to pour the breath in from the top to the bottom. And as you exhale, send the energy down and out through your legs as you rebend back into Warrior 2. Let's do that twice more. Inhale, invite that breath to pour down into your body. Exhale, rebend your knees, send the energy down and out, particularly through that back foot. One more time, inhale, take the arms up, pause here. Send your arms forward and backward. So I want you to evaluate, the left side of your pelvis is slightly forward. Start to lean way out over your right leg. Press into the ball mound of your right foot. Hug your outer right shin in. And as you exhale, bring your hand to a block, your shin or the floor. The left hip is rolling forwards a little bit, right? We want that. And then we're going to stack the left shoulder on top of the right shoulder and elongate through the right side of the waist. So as you inhale, the breath is moving in through the crown of your head. And as you exhale, you're sending that breath out evenly through the left and the right leg. Imagine you could lean back on a wall behind you. Tuck your chin gently in towards your chest, so the back and the front of the neck are equal in length. Focus on your breath. Good, and then rebend your right knee. Rise back up to Warrior 2. Flip your right palm over. As you inhale, reverse that warrior. Pour the breath into your right lung. And as you exhale, cartwheel your hands down. Pivot to the ball of your back foot. Good. Now, from here, bring your hands together in front of your heart. Your torso will hover a few inches off of your front thigh. And then as you start to shift the weight into your right foot, keep your right knee slightly bent. Float your left heel to the height of your sitting bone. So with your right knee slightly bent, you're more in your muscles than your joint. Draw your outer right hip crease towards the back of the room. As you inhale, invite that breath to pour in through the crown of your head. And as you exhale, send it out through both legs. Arms in any variation that you choose. You can even put them down on the blocks in front of you. And then slowly start to bend your right knee. Reach your left leg way back behind you. Land on the ball of your foot. And as you inhale, invite the breath down. As you float your arms up, turn the pelvic wheel on. Gorgeous. Nice job, you guys. Good. And then as you exhale, bring your hands down. Step it back. Vinyasa or not, you choose. We all meet in downward facing dog. Soma Vriti. Think about the direction you're sending each and every breath. And it's hard, you guys. I know it's hard to pay attention that much. And after a while, we might just be like, enough already. But just practice, just try. Something spicier for your practice. Step your left foot next to your left thumb. Turn your right foot down on its edge. As you inhale, invite the breath down, but float up. Turn your pelvic wheel on. As you exhale, send that energy down and out through your legs, particularly through the back outer heel. Reach your arms behind your back, interlace your fingers. I'll say left in front of right this time, on top of right. As you inhale, reach the crown of your head up, but open your chest. Allow the breath to pour past your heart on all the sides. And as you exhale, ground into your legs as you fold forward. Humble warrior. Always nice to reflect on what is that quality of humility and why is it in our yoga practice. Suction the shoulders away from the floor. On your next inhale breath, float back up to Virabhadrasana 1. Inviting the breath to pour down. As you exhale, ground your legs, bring your hands together in front of your heart and heel toe your left foot over towards the right. Extend the arms. Take a moment, we're in Warrior 2. Make sure that outer right hip is turning forwards a little bit, right? The left knee is tracking right over the second and third toe. Pour the breath in through the crown of your head. Send the breath down and out through your legs. On your next inhale breath, press into the ball mound of your left foot. Swoop your arms up to the sky. Invite the breath to pour down, like you're making a funnel for the breath. As you exhale, ground into your legs as you return to Warrior 2. Twice more. Inhale, pour the breath in. Focus on from the crown of your head to the bowl of your pelvis. As you exhale, focus on your legs. Good. One more time. Inhale, take it up. Keep your front leg straight. As you exhale, just extend the arms, but send the energy down and out through the legs. Good, now start to reach forward, allowing your pelvis to tilt, so allowing the left hip crease to get a little bit more creased, and then bring your hand to your block, your shin or the floor. Make sure that right hip is still forward, so you can actually encourage that right hip to move forward, and then you can churn your belly so that you can stack your shoulders, leaning back on that imaginary wall. Move your left shoulder away from your ear. And now pour the breath in through the crown of your head. And as you exhale, send that energy down and out through your legs. You feel a little bit of a lift in your pelvic floor. Can you connect to that pelvic floor? Focus on your breath, Soma Vritti. And then re-bend your left knee. Rise up to Virabhadrasana 2. Flip your left palm over as you inhale. Pour the breath into your left lung. You can imagine it dripping down. And as you exhale, cartwheel your hands down and pivot to the ball of your back foot. Good. Bring your hands together in front of your heart. Imagine the spaciousness from the crown of your head to the bowl of your pelvis. Inhale into that. And as you exhale, press into your left foot. Strengthen your right leg. Keep that left knee a little bit bent in your Warrior 3 so that you're in your muscles, so that you can really encourage that outer left hip crease to move back. Any variation with your arms, find the breath rhythm. And then slowly start to bend your left knee, reach your right leg way back behind you, land on the ball of your foot. As you inhale, pour the breath in from the top to the bottom, stretch your arms. There we go. And as you exhale, bring your hands down and step your left foot back to meet your right. Take it through a vinyasa. If you do, it will be the last vinyasa of the day. And then take a few breaths in your downward facing dog and try to emphasize pushing into the knuckles so you feel a little de-weighting to your wrists. Can you feel that? The more you press into your knuckles, the more your forearms lift away from the floor. On your inhale breath, shift forward to the top of a push-up. And as you exhale, lower your belly all the way down to the floor. Okay, so we're going to take our 2 blocks. We're going to use 2 blocks. One block is going to be in the skinny setting between your shins. Actually, let's say the medium setting. The medium setting between your shins. So you don't want your toes to touch each other. The other block is going to be on the wide setting between your hands. So stretch your arms out in front of you. Place your forehead down on your yoga mat. And squeeze the block that's in between your shins. Yeah? As you squeeze the block that's in between your shins, press your pubic bone down into the floor. Feel your pelvic wheel turning on. And then squeeze the block that's between your hands, all of the digits of your fingers together. Now lengthen your forehead, nose, chin and chest forward, lifting the block up off of the floor, and squeeze the block between your legs. So it's like your inner thighs lift up, but your shins try to stay down. Now I know this is challenging. Make sure you're not pooching your belly out into the floor. Keep pushing your pubic bones down. Take one more inhale. And as you exhale, relax everything down. Make a pillow and turn your face to one side or place your forehead down on your forearms. Notice how your heart rate, your breath is a little bit more rapid after that back bend. It's a lot of work. So in this back bend, I want you guys to think about pouring the breath more into the chest, more into the upper chest, right? So reach your arms forward again, squeeze the block. As you squeeze the block, it's like you're karate chopping the floor. Lengthen your arms forward. Allow your sternum to lengthen. And as you float the arms off of the floor, maybe the block, maybe your feet float up, but it's very subtle. Imagine you could pour the breath into the uppermost part of your lungs. And as you exhale, just allow that breath to resonate throughout your body. Take one more inhale. And as you exhale, release it down. Make another pillow for your face. And just take a moment to recalibrate, letting your breath steady back out to Soma Vritti. Place your hands next to your sides. And press your hips back. Move the block out of the way. Come into a child's pose. Just resting your forehead on the earth. As if you were bowing down to all of the teachers who have ever passed this practice down to us, and all of the wisdom. And also as if you were bowing into your inner self. Come on up, come to a seat. Take your legs out nice and wide. When I say nice and wide, not as wide as you can go. You know, like don't go crazy. If you're sitting slumped, it's called a bad idea. That's what my teacher says, that's called a bad idea. So sit up on a blanket if that is you, or 2 blankets. And then let's all place our fingertips behind us so that we can use the fingertips to really lift up through the chest, really ground the sitting bones down. Can you press into the center of your sitting bones? Your toes, look at your toes. Your toes are pointing straight up towards the ceiling. Your inner thighs are rolling towards your outer thighs. Place your hands in front of you. And wherever you place your hands, I want you to imagine you could send your sternum out beyond your fingertips. So someone's pulling your sternum forward, your sternum. More, Charles, more, your sternum. There you go. So it's not about going down, it's actually more, in fact, about going up. The top of your sternum reaches away from the bottom of your sternum. A lot of times the feet become sleepy here. Lift those toes up towards the ceiling. Good, now walk your hands over towards your left leg. And imagine the right side of your rib cage is trying to turn towards your left leg. And then it's the same thing, you're getting longer, not more down, longer, as if your heart could actually touch your big toe. Take an inhale, think of your pelvis as water. And as you exhale, exhale out through your sitting bones, your inner thighs. Take one more round of breath. And then walk your hands forward and over towards the right. And so you want to feel the left side of your rib cage turning towards the inside of your right leg. And then I want you to think about how much you can grow the top of your sternum away from the bottom of your sternum. Inhale like you're inhaling into a bowl of water at the base of your pelvis. And as you exhale, imagine that water is dripping down into the earth, through your inner thighs, through your inner groins, and through the sitting bones. Good. Walk your hands back towards the center. Lengthen your forehead, nose, chin, and chest, and rise all the way up. And then bring your legs together. If you're sitting on a blanket, it's probably a good idea to keep sitting on that blanket. Good, so flex your toes back towards your shins. Place your hands by your sides so you can sit up with a very tall spine. This is important. Feel the center of your sitting bones pressing down into the earth. Good, that looks great, Charles. The inner thighs spin down towards the floor, the inseams of the legs lengthen. As you inhale, circle the arms, but send the breath down. And as you exhale, root your sitting bones, root your legs as you lengthen your torso. I don't care how far forward you reach. I don't want you to go down at all. I'd rather see your sternum trying to magnetize towards your toes. Yes, collarbones stay wide. Imagine you could inject your thigh bones deeper into your hip sockets. And then rise back up. Lengthen your legs out in front of you. I think they already are. Reach forward, maybe hook your thumbs together. And then start to articulate. Vertebrae by vertebrae, rolling yourself all the way down onto the floor. Scoop your belly. Take as much time as you can, and when you land, hug your right knee in towards your chest. Keep your left leg nice and long. Reach your right arm out to the right, and twist your right knee over towards the left as you gaze towards the right. And just enjoy the journey. Now let your breath be soft. So the ancient rishis said there are 5 koshas. Koshas mean sheaths or layers. And they're not of our body. Our body is the first layer. Our prana, or our energetic body, is the second layer. And that includes a lot of the breath work that we do. Our mind, our lower mind, right, is our third layer. And our higher mind is the 4th. And the 5th layer is called the bliss layer. It's when we access that quality of samadhi, which is the 8th limb of yoga. It allows us to feel bliss regardless of our circumstances. Roll it back to the center, give your right knee one last little squeeze, and then hug the left knee and extend the right leg out. Extend the left arm out to the left and gaze towards the left as you twist towards the right. Keeping your breath nice and soft. Allowing your breath to nourish and reach every cell and muscle in your body. Every cell, every molecule in your body. Not just the muscles, the bones, the blood, the organs. Feel each breath as it comes in breath as it flows out. Good. And then bring it back to the center. Hug both knees into your chest. Keep your shins together. Keep your feet together. And just rock yourself really gently from side to side, opening up the muscles on either side of the spine. And then catch the outer edges of your ankles or feet with your arms to the insides of your legs. Pull your knees down like you're doing a giant squat on the ceiling. Keep your tailbone on the floor. Good. And then bring your legs straight up towards the ceiling. Flex the feet. Place your hands down by your sides. I want you to press the front of your body down into the back of your body. So your belly muscles are working here. Scoop and scrape your belly and lower your legs about a third of the way down. Keep the lower back muscles, or keep the lower back basically flat towards the floor. Scoop and scrape the belly. Lower the legs another third of the way. Elongate through the inseams. And then lift your head and your shoulders. Reach your arms forward. Lift your head and your shoulders off of the floor. Lower your legs almost till they're touching. And then release everything down into the floor for Shavasana. So take a deep breath in and hold your breath. Open your mouth and sigh the breath out. And now just let your breath, let go of your breath. Try not to control your breath. Just let the breath flow in as if it was being breathed into you. You're getting CPR from the most glorious yoga angels. And when you exhale, instead of exhaling per se, think about just letting that breath resonate, feeling the nutrition of that breath matriculate through your body. And so continue to breathe in this way so that, yeah, you might feel that breath, that nutrition matriculate through your body. Can you also feel it matriculate through your energetic body? Your energy. Our energy is different every day, but we know that it's something that we can play with the more we understand about how energy moves through our body. The yoga angels are breathing that breath into you. And as you exhale, now that breath is resonating in your mind, calming your mind to the tempo of your breath. The yoga angels are breathing the breath into you. And as you exhale, now the breath is nourishing the upper mind, the more spiritual aspect of our mind, our more authentic self. Allow the yoga angels to breathe that breath into you. And as you exhale, just see if you can find absolute tranquility. Imagine that you were breathing, trying to resonate the quality of that breath through the entire room that you are in right now. Now, if you're still thinking about yoga angels, just relax and soften and try to let your mind go completely. You don't have to think about taking in the breath. Nature is going to give you that breath whether you take it or not. So just allow it, just receive it. start to move energy through your body again, so allow your breath to become a little bit deeper, a little bit more fulfilling. When you're ready, stretch your arms up and over your head, stretch your legs out in front of you. Imagine someone was pulling your wrists backwards and pulling your ankles forward. So you feel your body getting really long. And as you exhale, hug your knees in towards your chest. Take your time, roll over onto the right side of your body. And gently press yourself to a seated position. Take as much time as you want. Spend extra time in Shavasana if you want. And as you come to that cross-legged position, bring your hands together in front of your heart and organize your spine so that your spine is like a conduit between the heaven and the earth. And then pour the breath in through the crown of your head. As you exhale, feel yourself ground your pelvis down into the floor. And then bow your forehead, bow your head towards your heart. And as you gaze into your heart center, allow gratitude, allow forgiveness, allow love. Allow them so much that they fill your entire being. Slowly let your eyes float open. Namaste.